Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Six Man Blitz. I'm Jake Lynch. Man, the day has finally come. NCAA football is back. We've been waiting for this for years, and we finally get it back. The internet in sync as one. But we'll get into that more with the interview with Payton, though. Stay tuned.
It's back before GTA 6, too. But, hey, the Sixers are back. They're 34-point game with Joel Embiid. First in the East right now. Brooklyn Nets, who?
And the East is wide open. Nets, Sixers, Celtics.
Okay.
Anybody, the Heat maybe even again? They can even come out.
Yeah.
But
The Hornets? Nah.
hey, Patrick Williams and the Bulls are hooping, though. Yes, sir. So we got a great show for you guys today. We got an interview with Michigan State quarterback Payton Thorne. We get everything from him growing up in a football family to him at Michigan State. So what should we expect from Michigan State next year? You know, go green, go white, baby. But
Yes, sir.
make sure to subscribe on us, the Six Man Blitz, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, follow our social medias too while you're at it. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Six Man Blitz. Help your boys out. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Now let's get into the interview. Now let's welcome on a good friend of ours, Michigan State quarterback Payton Thorne. Thanks for joining us today, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's start off with you being young. So, you have a grandpa who was a coach and your dad being a coach too. So how was it growing up with the football family?
It was definitely a different experience than most people have. Just, there's a ton of positives to it. And there are a couple drawbacks just with having, my dad gone for quite a while and during the season. Anybody who's got a dad as a college or, higher coach knows that it's a pretty serious time commitment and just the hours that he puts in. I didn't see him much during the season, but, during the off season and stuff like that, having access to the different facilities to get in there and throw and play basketball and just mess around with my friends was an awesome experience. And then, I've learned countless lessons about just life in general from my grandpa and my father. My grandpa is, one of the best people you'll meet, and everyone that knows him and that he's had an impact on has, amazing things to say about him. And really, if you spend enough time around the guy, he'll leave an impact on your life. Sorry, my battery went down there.
Oh, you're all good.
But yeah, that's about the little small gist of it. And it definitely was fun, and they've been great resources for me, and they've made me who I am today.
Yeah, because the Thorns run North Central, man. Everything Thorns.
Definitely, man. You had a great career at Naperville Central when you transferred. Talk more about how you felt your career went at Naperville Central.
I loved my time at Naperville Central. It was an awesome experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Being able to come there my junior year after my prior 2 years at the other high school I was at, it was a great experience, and the friends that I made at Naperville Central I'll have for the rest of my life, really. And I truly believe that when I say it. And just those guys that the bond that we had on those two different teams, we still talk today, but I know it hasn't been that long ago, but we talk about those games still, and we talk about especially our junior season. When I talk to those seniors, we always, bring it up, and there's so many memories made at Naperville Central, football especially. And then I had a year of basketball and a year of baseball as well that were also fun in their own ways. But just the whole sports side of Naperville Central was awesome, and then the school side was awesome too. Honestly, I loved the school atmosphere and the school spirit was awesome.
Yeah, that's hella dope. Do you think high school experience is as good as college? Because in comparison, my brother's always telling me high school football, you'll never forget it. You love it and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, high school football and college football are very different. The high school, as well as the high school experience and the college experience. Everyone says there's nothing like Friday Night Lights, and there really isn't. When you get to college, you realize that high school, you're just having fun with your friends. You're working hard and trying to, accomplish goals that you've set for yourselves as a team. But, doing it with guys that are your age, guys that are doing the same thing outside of football, that live in the same area, it's a ton of fun. And just having that sense of pride of, this is where we live and this is who we represent. That's awesome. And then at the college level, there's a little bit more of a business side to it, and that is what it is. It comes with the money that's involved. There's not nearly, it's exponentially more money at the college level that's involved with it. So, in a way, it has to be a little bit of business. In college, you're here to win, and that's the bottom line. And if you don't do that, then you're done. And that's as a coach and players. You only get so many chances when you get here. So it's definitely different. There are a ton of positives to both of them. I loved my experience in high school football, but I'm definitely enjoying my experience here at Michigan State as well. And we're trying to build something here, and we're working our tails off this offseason to get us back to where we were in the earlier part of the last decade.
Yeah, so you talk about how you ended up at Michigan State. Let's talk about that recruiting process, because you were originally committed to Western Michigan. So how was that transition from Western Michigan, then decommitting and transferring to Michigan State?
Yeah, when I committed to Western Michigan, I didn't have an offer from Michigan State. I had talked to them a couple of times, and I really liked Western Michigan. Great coaches, and really it was a good experience in the recruiting process with them. I thought that they were for sure my best fit with the options I had at the time. And, I was looking forward to playing with, my longtime friend, as you guys know, Jaden Reed. And I was looking forward to the opportunity, and I was thankful for the opportunity that they gave me. It was awesome to get to have that connection there. Obviously, that with my dad. My dad's great friends with their head coach, Tim Lester. And it was a great opportunity for me, and I'm thankful for everything they did for me, because without them and without what they did, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. And Michigan State came in around Thanksgiving time of my senior year, so I had played a lot of my senior season, or all of our senior season actually. And I talked to them a few times, took a couple of visits, and then took an official visit here. And then I think a couple of days after that official visit, I decided to decommit and commit to Michigan State. I just thought this was the best spot for me, and I don't regret that decision at all to this day. And everything happens for a reason, and God's got me, I believe, where He wants me. So just taking it day by day, and I'm definitely thankful to be here.
Yeah. And you talked about Jaden Reed. How was it having Jaden Reed and Kate McDonald coming with you too at Michigan State?
Yeah, it's been awesome having those two guys. I'm rooming with Cade, so it's me and him right now, and that's been an awesome experience for sure. Definitely a great guy to have as a roommate. He fills checks all the boxes for a good roommate, so that's good. But having him and Bird here has been awesome. Having those two guys from high school. I know Jaden helped me a lot with when I first got here, and just because he had a year under his belt of college football, and just helping me to understand, what it is and the difference between the two. Because, you can ask anybody when they finally get there, it's a little bit of a shock to you. You think you're ready, but and that first week hits you, it can be tough sometimes. So having him here has been awesome. And then just connecting with him on the field especially has been awesome. And, we talked about something like this in high school, and to see it actually be here has been a real blessing. And having Cade here too has been awesome. They've both been on the field. So still waiting for the time when we're all three on the field together at the same time on a play, but hopefully we'll see that this next year.
Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, definitely. You talk about getting on the field. Your freshman year, you started off as a redshirt. How was working behind Brian Lewerke and Rocky Lombardo?
It was good. I spent the year on the scout team, which I don't think many people go into college wanting to be on the scout team, but you quickly learn that there are a lot of positives to doing that too. You get to go against the best guys on your team every day. So it's really game day every day of the week when you're practicing. And it was a ton of fun to be on the scout team with with Jaden and Cade, and having that connection and growing that connection with them, even on the scout team, it was definitely a lot of fun. You can have fun on the scout team, still working hard, but it can be fun throughout the year. And we had a great scout team kind of coach that handled the scout team. He was an awesome guy. He made it fun for us. So it was good. And I like Brian and Rocky. They're both really good guys. And watching Brian play, I didn't get to develop too much of a relationship with Brian just because, I only was here with him for a semester. And then he he was on our offense, and I wasn't always meeting or practicing with them. So, but they're both really good guys. And, I keep in touch with Brian, and obviously, I've been with Rocky here this past semester.
Yeah, so after your freshman year, you guys changed over coaching staffs from D'Antonio to Mel Tucker. So how was that learning a new offense and having a new coach in the running the room? And it was even during the pandemic too. So how was that thrown into there too?
Yeah, it was really an interesting experience having everything with the virus coming in and taking everybody off their feet. But it was good having the new coaches come in and learning the new offense. It was definitely an interesting experience having learned all at home. And, I think we got through our day one install here, and then we got sent home. So all of our learning of the offense was done in my basement at home, on Zoom meetings. And I definitely think looking back on that, it was a blessing in disguise, because not having spring ball that year, although you didn't get the reps, we had time to, really drill down the mental stuff. And when you play quarterback, that's the most important part, honestly, is knowing what you're doing. And I felt extremely crisp coming out of that with my mental approach to the game and just knowing our offense. So I think there was definitely positives to that. But, we're enjoying Coach Tucker. We love Coach D, obviously. That's why I came to Michigan State, was because of Coach D'Antonio. But Coach Tucker's been great having him come in. And we all are behind him, and we love his vision for us as a program, and we're behind him completely.
That's dope. Definitely in sports, it comes in like you always have to be ready, next man up. That's heavily preached. You didn't start this year, but you came in and at later games and you started playing. How did you prepare yourself for that?
I'd started the year when I was told that I wasn't going to be starting. I definitely, just kind of obviously I was disappointed, but I made sure that every week I was going to prepare like I was starting. And, you've heard people say that, and I wanted to make sure that was, true for me, because you really, especially in the game of football, you don't know when your time's coming, because guys can get hurt just like that. Can be one snap and next thing you know you're in. So I never knew when my time was going to come, but I definitely prepared like I was going to play that week. And, throughout the season, it was frustrating at times, getting to the fourth game, fifth game, and, haven't really gotten in yet. It was frustrating. It was tough to keep doing that, but I'm happy that it went the way it did. And, there's lessons to be learned in every situation that you're put in. And that was definitely a year to learn. And obviously I wish I would have played earlier, but, I'm happy with the way it played out and, the lessons that I learned from that. So, every time you hit a rough patch in life, you got to ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? And I actually just read that in a book a couple weeks ago, and I think that was definitely a moment for me where I could look back on that and learn from it.
Yeah, so
you definitely made the most of your opportunities, man.
yeah, you didn't start the year off starting, but then you started late in the year. So how was that finally be able to start? And then I think you started for Penn State the first game.
Yep. Yeah. It was a great feeling finally being able to know I'm starting and be able to kind of nail some small things down with our receivers and stuff, because that's key. Anybody who was in our offense in high school knew that that's what we did all the time. We just talked about little details and little things with receivers, and I think that's why we were part of the reason why we were really good in high school, is because of that. And just being able to do that with our receivers here, just that 1 week even, it was nice to just be able to talk to them and really connect with them in a way where, they can look at me and say, okay, this guy's playing. So, let's work together and get this thing going. So on Saturday, it shows up on the field, and it was fun, just being able to go out there and play and, have a good time with my teammates. Obviously, wish we would have won the game. And then wish we would have played the next week against Maryland. That stunk that we weren't able to play that when they came in. I think it was Thursday and said that we weren't playing. And so we had already had a week preparation in. So that was pretty frustrating. Wish we could have played another one. But, it was a fun experience to be able to start that one game even. It was fun. And I'm looking forward to this upcoming year.
Yeah, I mean, this whole year was messed up because of COVID, but it was definitely good to see you getting some playing time at the end of it,
Yeah, thank you.
One of the great rivalries in the Big Ten is Michigan State. How was it beating Michigan this year?
It was great. I mean, I think we were 24-point underdogs going into the game, so nobody really expected us to put up a fight at all. After the prior week losing to Rutgers, that was a pretty tough loss to take as a program. But I remember in the locker room, something Coach Tucker said was that just be ready to shock everybody this next week. And, right away we were looking forward to next week. And I think we had a great week of preparation. And we went out there and played well enough to win. And it was definitely fun, especially being at their place, getting to walk away with the Paul Bunyan Trophy. It was a lot of fun.
All right, so you finally have a year under your belt in the Mel Tucker era. So what should we expect from Michigan State moving forward and next year especially?
I think that you can expect to see a physical team. I know that's Coach Tucker's number one is physicality. And, we're just going to work our tail off this offseason to put ourselves in a position to win in every game that we play next year. We play in one of the absolute toughest divisions, not just conference, but the divisional side of the Big Ten is very tough, and we like that, having that competition in here, because the competition only makes you so much better. And getting to play teams like Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan every year, those are games you look forward to, and those are games you grow up wanting to play. And so we're going to work our tail off to be able to step into any stadium that we play in and try to put our best foot forward and come out with a win.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like you said earlier, the Michigan State was good in the first half of the decade. Trying to bring that back is definitely something we'd all like to see.
Yeah.
Big Ten is just Ohio State, and then having Michigan State be back, that'd be good. But then who you got in the Super Bowl this week? Let's hear it. Who you got, man?
Oh man, it's tough. I think that Brady's gotten this far. I don't think he's losing now. So being a Bears fan, I'm sad to say this, but I do like Rodgers, and I thought Rodgers was going to get him last week for sure, but he didn't. So I think that Brady's going to have to walk away with this one.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Stairway to 7, man. Okay, so now the last part of the interview, we normally do rapid-fire questions. So now let's do rapid-fire questions based off you.
All right.
All right. The first one is, what is the most challenging part of being a Division I athlete?
Probably the time, just the time that everything, the time throughout the week, and just trying to figure out, how I'm going to do my schoolwork. And it's just tough because, the normal student has all this time, and I know they got, jobs and whatnot, but, finding time to do your schoolwork, especially after a workout or a day of practice. I mean, you really don't want to do your schoolwork, but there are a lot of benefits that come along with it. So I won't talk too much on that.
All right. So now, what's the best part about being a Division I athlete?
Man, there are a lot of good things that we're able to do, but just the experience and the memories that I know that we're going to be creating. Even my one game that I started, and just the games that we played in last year, again, playing in the Big Ten, playing in these different stadiums. I mean, playing in our stadium is, a blessing every time you get to walk in there. And it's a memory every time you walk in there waiting to be made. But playing at Penn State, I'll definitely remember that probably for the rest of my life, even with no fans there. It was an awesome experience and something I've dreamt of for a long time. So I'd say the memories that are going to be made. And, there's all the nice flash and stuff that come along with it. And that's all fun and good. And definitely enjoyable while you're in it. And there is a lot of hard work that goes into having those nice things. But I would say the memories that we're making right now.
Yeah, for sure. Who is your favorite player that you looked up to the most when you were younger?
Man, football player or any player?
Any player.
Any player, I would say Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is my absolute favorite. If he
Goat.
didn't get hurt, he's a top 10 player all time. Maybe not top 10. He's the best point guard of all time though if he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say you're starting a franchise. Who are you picking as a quarterback, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh, wow. That's a tough one. I mean, Tom Brady's the GOAT, obviously. So I guess you'd have to go with him just because all he does is win. But I think Aaron Rodgers might be the most, or one of the most, for sure, like talented quarterbacks ever. The stuff he does, every week. Everyone loves talking about Mahomes, all this crazy stuff he does, and he does, crazy stuff for sure. But Rodgers is he's a different kind of player. He's so smooth, and he just does crazy stuff that a lot of normal people don't notice. But when you play the position and you see that, you're like, holy cow, that was awesome. He just did that.
Yeah, if Rodgers had weapons around him, man.
I know, for real.
You see all these great NFL receivers in the league right now. Who is one receiver you'd want to throw to the most?
Man, great question. Oh, man. I mean, Julio Jones wouldn't be too bad. Guy's huge. That'd be awesome. And I'm trying to think. Stephon Diggs was pretty stinking good this year. That'd be an interesting guy to throw to. And then Justin Jefferson had a great year too. So I'm definitely making a couple, but those are some great ones right there.
Hit that gritty for Justin Jefferson. All right, so why do you wear number 10 at Michigan State?
Oh,
I want to be honest, there's no reason I wore number 10. When I walked in, that's what they gave me. I didn't have a choice. So that's just what I've been rolling with.
That's dope. What opponent next year do you look forward to playing the most?
Man, what opponent? I mean, obviously Michigan is always looking forward to them. Always looking forward to Ohio State. Really all those teams that I talked about playing. And Indiana's really good now too. So, every game we play is going to be a tough game. We know that in our conference. And but I'd say an interesting team that we don't normally play is we're playing at Miami next year. So that'll be fun.
That's good, going down to South Beach.
Yep.
All right, so are you excited that the NCAA football game is back?
Absolutely. I don't really play video games, but if that was out, I would play that for sure.
I was talking to my roommate earlier. I don't care how much it is. I'm definitely getting it no matter what.
Yeah.
Dynasty mode.
I spent quite a bit to get down.
Yeah, everybody played that. Everybody was posting it. These girls are just confused today.
I had NCAA 14 back on my PS3, and I actually played it back when I had it, but I never knew how special that game would be. One of my friends back then stole it from my house, and so I don't have it anymore.
Shit's serious. All right, who's your favorite Bolingbrook alum? Deshaun Mallory or Ant Williams?
Oh man, that's tough. Man, I love both of them. I can't give a wrong answer there. I can't really give a right answer either. I know they'll both be all over me if they hear about it, but I love Deshaun. I love Ant. They're definitely both two fun guys to be around. But I guess my favorite Bolingbrook alum has got to be Jake Lynch, I guess, out of those three.
Sure.
Sir, you know the movies, man. All right, so what is your favorite football movie growing up?
This is a tough question.
Man, that is a tough question. I would need a list to look at.
Highlights, you got there's too many.
I know there are too many. I remember watching Radio when I was really young. I know that's a kind of a one that people don't talk about much. I remember thinking it was super sad. I don't remember much about it, honestly. I just remember when I was watching it thinking how sad it was. But so that's not my favorite. That's one that comes to mind out of nowhere. Remember the Titans, obviously, is a great one. But yeah, I would need a list in front of me to really choose those.
That's a classic, man. Gotta have memory.
Yeah.
Time. All right, so the last question. There's got to be the
Favorite
best
question.
in the movie Cars. Do they have life insurance or car insurance?
Oh man, that's a good one. I guess they let's see. I mean, it's got to be life insurance, right? It's got to be.
The guests are 2-0 for life insurance. So, I mean, it can go either way. But
Well, there you go.
that's what we got so far. But thank you again for joining us. And
Thank you.
No, yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun. Fun talking to you guys.
go green.
Go white. I'll talk to you guys later.
Now we're back. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Some great content for you guys moving forward. But now let's get into some sports talk. Super Bowl weekend. We finally made it. Chiefs versus Bucks, Super Bowl LV, aka 55. If y'all were wondering, I know some of you guys are not the best at Roman numerals. So, hey, Sunday, February 7th, 5:30 Central Time. Who you got in this one, man? Let's hear it.
Oh, it's the GOAT versus the new up and comer. But the Chiefs, they're down some linemen. Their lineman is really depleted, and if you look at this Bucks defense, what do they do the best? Rushing the passer, and then you got Devin White in the back. Ooh, their defense, they play well off like the offense, struggling. So but who can overcome that the most? Patrick Mahomes, and that Chiefs offense. So I think it's gonna be close, but Tom Brady, he does not have room to throw 3 interceptions again. He can't throw 3 again.
Definitely.
This Chiefs team is too loaded. But I got the Bucks.
That's what I like to hear. Music to my ears. You know how we rocking, man. Ready to go. I'm going with the GOAT this weekend. You know I am. Hey, man, having Eric Fisher out, the Chiefs left tackle, is going to be a huge loss. That Bucks front 7 is going to run around, make plays.
Vita Bay. The demigod.
JPP running around. Devin White wearing the LSU shoulder pads. Man, this defense is insane. I don't know how they didn't have a better record, but this team was meant to peak early December, late November, and that's exactly what they did. Since Thanksgiving, they've been playing amazing.
Yeah.
Steve Spagnuolo, he was the Giants defense coordinator when they played Brady the first go around. So he's already beat Brady in a Super Bowl, so that's a good sign to have. But man, the first time they played, Tyreek Hill, his stat line was 269 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's insane. But I feel like they'll have a different, obviously, strategy this time to try to limit him. Travis Kelce still gets good touches in. Tyreek Hill you saw him last year when he ended the game for the 49ers. But I see Patrick Mahomes having a Cam Newton-ish kind of day.
Oh.
I'm throwing it out there now.
I don't know, man. That's going to be tough. The last Super Bowl, he did play kind of like a little bad, but he was going against Jimmy Garoppolo, not Tom Brady.
Exactly. Hey, I have Patrick Mahomes throwing for 150 yards and 3 interceptions. Call me crazy.
3 interceptions?
Yeah, 3 interceptions. Maybe even more. We'll see.
More?
Hey, give me the GOAT, man. Give me Tom Brady. But hey, I got the Bucks. I don't know with my score prediction yet, but I'm going with the scoreagami. Scoreagami. Gotta love it. And I also love to see Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown winning the Super Bowl.
Either one.
Made me laugh. Made me smile. Nice. But
Calm down.
I just hope for a good game, not a Patriots-Rams kind of Super Bowl again. But I feel like it's going to be high scoring. So now let's get into the trade that happened last weekend that shook up the NFL. The Rams acquired Matthew Stafford while giving up 2 first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick this year, and Jared Goff. What was your reactions when you heard this trade?
Jared Goff, man, he's down bad. What the hell is there to do in Detroit? But if you're in Detroit, you can walk a couple miles down and you'll be in Canada. That's the only good thing about Detroit, especially now. But you can't go to Piston games. Those games are going to be terrible.
Why would you want to go to a Piston game anyway?
There's going to be nothing to see like in California there is, like where you'd be in LA. But this trade is insane. The amount of picks they gave up to get Stafford, but they're definitely showing how they felt about Goff with this trade. They're saying like, man, we give you 1 year with this defense we have. Nah, you gotta go, bro. We're championship or bust. So
No.
I think this Bears team is going to be a contender next year for the Super Bowl coming out of the NFC.
No, yeah, no doubt about it. They're definitely going to be the contender. I think the Lions might have won this trade, though. Look, think about it. They had the 7th overall pick this year in the draft, and they're not going to spend it on a quarterback. So they can get the best available player, which will help them maybe get some line help for Goff, maybe get some receivers for Goff. I mean, they had to look at Galloway if he's coming back or not, see if the weapons around him are coming back. But, they drafted DeAndre Swift last year. Hawkinson's coming back. So they got some weapons on the offensive side. And they got 2 first-round picks, not even this year, the year after and the year following. So that's a good sign. And then what's his name? Dan Campbell. He's on a 6-year contract.
Kneecaps.
He's on a 6-year contract. So he's going to turn this. I think he's going to turn it around. He's got a great approach, and he's biting off kneecaps. He's just an electric guy. He's going to be energetic, changing the culture around. Because, look what their last coach was. He was a all-football kind of guy. He's a total opposite now. So, I don't know. Anything could happen. But Jared Goff, Blake Griffin 2.0, going from L.A. to Detroit. Terrible, terrible trade. Terrible trade location-wise for him. Now,
can't make it in Detroit.
I would love to. I would hate to live in Detroit. No doubt about it. But now let's get into some NBA talk here before we wrap up the show. The Brooklyn Nets. They can score the most points in the league, but they give up the most points in the league. It don't make sense. How can they not play a little defense? But that's what happens when you have Jeff Green starting. Hey, nothing wrong with Jeff Green. But when you have him in the starting lineup, things are not going to go good. So, is there a way to change this defense, or is it just score more points to the other team no matter what?
That's what this NBA is becoming. It's becoming how many points you can score, and that's attractive to the NBA fans, but it's not going to get you a championship. You got to stop somebody. But their best defender is Bruce Brown. And you think not like the typical NBA fan be like, who the fuck is Bruce Brown?
Who is that man?
But against this Clippers team, the game yesterday, they look good. Like, they played some defense finally. They had Kevin Durant, they had Harden taking turns guarding Kawhi and Paul George, and they were, giving them a little, effort, and it affected things, and they were able to get the win down stretch. But I think they're going to need to get another defender. But they're in talks to get J.J. Redick. Imagine.
Duke's finest, man. Duke's finest, J.J. Redick.
They're going to put up 162 points a game.
The thing is, it's fun to watch these Brooklyn Nets. 150, scoring 150, but then also giving up 152. But they made Westbrook look like the best player in the league. He's been playing like dog water this year,
Dropped 41 on this.
So it's just, how could you be the 30th best defense? How could you not even be the second to last place in defense? How are you the last team? It's just, Steve Nash can only do so much. But if they can turn it around, if they can maybe trade someone, maybe sign somebody, I don't know how that's gonna work, but they need some help, man. Nothing offensively, but defensively it needs some help. Now let's get into some closing remarks. We already did rapid fire takes with Payton. So now, what you got for closing remarks?
Jared Dudley. Saw him trending on Twitter. The man wrote a book while he was in the playoffs. And that tells you enough, like, already what you need to know about his contribution to the Lakers winning the finals. The man wasn't doing shit. If he was in the game, you lost.
Yeah.
Saw that man with the headband checking in. But he called out Paul George, saying he doesn't deserve to be able to talk down to players like LeBron and AD because he doesn't have a championship. But what has Dudley done in the NBA? Besides average 7.4 points his career.
Yeah. It's insane.
Down bad.
Man, my closing remark, got 2 of them. Nick Saban with the best recruiting class of all time. 7 5-star recruits and 16 4-stars. Insanity. Insanity right there. And then Lil Uzi Vert. This man paid $24 million to get a diamond implanted on his face. He looks like Vision off Marvel, and they keep tweeting out that Thanos meme where Thanos is taken out. Like, man, 24 million? That's a lot. What you got for song of the week?
Lil Durk featuring YWN Melly. Free Jamel. It's a hot song, bro. I've been listening to it all week.
Never go wrong with Lil Durk. But we appreciate you guys for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this interview. We should have more interviews lined up soon. Then again, make sure to tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a dog owner if you're at the park. Tell somebody you know. Hey, tell your tattoo artist, tell your gardener. But let me stop playing. But yeah, just help your boys out. Make sure to subscribe, download, resubscribe, do anything you can. But thank you guys for listening again, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Sir.